welcome. I'm starting off on YouTube first before I started TikToks, but yeah, good to see y'all back again. This is just an experiment for me. I'm going live every day in August, and yeah, seeing how long I can keep this up. Sorry about that. Talk about my books and my art from Japan. Again, these are some of the art that I offer. 25th books in art from Japan. Welcome, TikTok. Here to talk about art from Japan that I offer, like this no mask, shoujo, as well as my books. So this is the first novel that I wrote called Kyosei, and you can get this as a part of my thriller book bundle on my website, BrandonShin.net. Kyosei, this is a book about my experiences in Japan. It's basically like a fantasy book, but I based a lot of the story off of real world experiences and people that I met while I traveled in Japan. I gotta fix this angle so that I can just talk on both of these at the same time, you know? Yeah, so I'm just gonna be going live every day, 10 minutes a day, at least 10, 15 minutes a day, just to get into the habit of speaking to the people live. And I'm wearing a shirt that my friend, drew an illustration of me. A lot of people say that I used to have locks, but even still, a lot of people say this doesn't look like me. And, my friend drew it of me, and I don't know, I appreciated it, but a lot of people, especially my family, was like, that shit doesn't look like you. That doesn't look like your face. So what do you guys think? Does this actually look like me? I don't know. Is this how my face looks? I'm not sure, but again, if you're here, this is books and art from Japan. This is a traditional no mask. 700 years old. Oh, it does look like me, Ricky. I appreciate you. Yeah, some people say it does look like me, but a lot of my family was like, that shit doesn't look like you. So who knows? But again, this live is about books and art from Japan. This is the art. I didn't make this art. This is made by traditional Japanese artisans that study decades of their lives. They dedicate decades of their lives to making shit like this. This is made from one block of wood. And they basically just carve a face. It's a young woman. Yeah, Rose. A lot of people think that someone's soul is in this thing. I agree. It does look like a person, and it is kind of freaky. I mean, that is pretty scary, right? Like, can you imagine this above your... What room would you hang this mask in? That's the real question. What room would you hang this mask in, Rose? What about you guys on TikTok? What room in your house would you hang this mask up in? I have it in the living room. But what about you guys? Where would you put this mask in your house? Would you put it in your bedroom? Would you put it in the kitchen? Where would you put this? Yeah, I see someone says, Tyrone says, should. Gotta finish your sentence. I don't know what you mean by should. Where would you guys hang this Japanese mask? Where would you put this mask in your house? I have it in the living room. Some people says this has a... It feels like it's alive. A lot of people think this mask is alive. But, it's, someone said the curb. All right. Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. A lot of people think this is makes them uncomfortable. That's okay if it scares you. It does look like a real person, so... Yeah. This is a Japanese mask. That's a human being behind that mask. Yep, a lot of people do say that. A lot of people do say that. A lot of people think that this thing is alive. Can you imagine waking up to this just right there in your face? Good morning. But if you actually look at it, look at the detail. 700-year-old art form. This is a Japanese traditional mask. Someone said, YouTube, put it down in the basement and leave it and lock your doors. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Someone said, skareru? Or no, kwareru? Yabureru? その漢字忘れた。破れるんだっけあれ。ゴジラだ。あ、かぶれるありがとう。かぶれるかな Yeah, I think I can put it on. So somebody on the YouTube asked if I could put it on. Yes, this is how it looks if you put it on. Kabureru. Yeah, so this is how typically Japanese people wear this on the stage. They put it on their face like this, and they move up and down to show different emotions. So typically when you go like this, they're sad, but then you up, happy, and it just depends, you know? 似合ってますね。ありがとうございます。でも、this is a こう思ってだからね。This is a young woman in Japanese traditional culture. Someone said, bro, what the fuck? Yeah, it is. It is what the fuck. Because what is this? But this is a 700-year-old art form from Japan. No theater, if you're curious about it. NOH, go check it out. Do a little bit of Googling. This is a very, very old art form in Japan. And yeah, if you watch any type of, 3 bands, exactly. It is 3 bands. I know a lot of people are surprised at how expensive it is. This is $3,000. But you know, people, it depends on what you classify as art. This is 700 years of history and technique bundled into this thing. So depends on the person. But as you can see, I also wrote a book about it. You can see the mask that I just showed you right there. This was back in 2016 I wrote this book. So it's 2 books in one. This is the first novel that I wrote. Fantasy. And a little bit of, this is more of a thriller. This is more modern day, stuff like that. But yeah, you can see No Theater right there. Both of these books available in the bundle on my website, brandonshin.net. Yeah, but as I said when I started this live, I'm only going live for like 10-15 minutes every day in August to get into the habit of going live. So any questions you guys got, drop them in the comments. Drop them in the chat. Because I'm only going to be here for like 10 minutes. While I show you some of the books and art that I got going on. So you got this Shokuni Universe. Shokuni means artisan in Japanese. Shokuni means artisan. And basically this is like, short book, but also a little fantasy vibe going on with this one as well. And I wrote this back in maybe like 2022. Yeah, I don't know. This one. Yeah, this was a little, I got more like a little bit of my personal history in this with interviewing different artisans around Japan, and main character, she's looking for peace of mind. She's from an undisclosed African country. She used to work for an intelligence agency where she knocked off people, but she's trying to get away from that life. move to Japan, find peace of mind, relax, find herself, but she gets pulled into another conspiracy in Japan. And she has to escape a cult, basically. And so she enlists the help of a bunch of Japanese artisans. This allows her to find herself. And someone said, how do you live stream on YouTube? Okay, on YouTube. Yeah, I'm going live. I'm going live directly from the YouTube app and directly from TikTok. But I used to have a little software, you know, what all the big streamers use. But, you know, I'm just starting out, man. I don't need to have all that extra fancy shit. And the web, I gotta mess with a webcam and all that. It's just easier to just press the button on the smartphone and just go boom. Yeah, Monster Master, thank you. And so yeah, first book. All of these books, I got a lot of books here actually. I'll show you all the books at once. Yeah, all these books are pretty short reads, but pretty interesting concepts. All based in Japan, based off my experiences living here for 10 years, even during the coronavirus. I wrote a book about coronavirus back when it was happening live. So I'm just gonna keep adding books here while you guys can see. All of these are part of the bundle I have on my website. And you guys can check it out. If you're on YouTube, you can actually buy that bundle directly from the live. If you're watching, you can go into the products and check it out, and it's right there waiting for you. TikTok, I have a different book on the, I can't even carry all these books. TikTok, I have a different book. I have a different series of books on there, but that's also on my website. Or on Amazon if you're KDP type of reader. But look at it, I can't even hold all the books I got. All of them are waiting for you, based on real experiences in Japan with people, places, and stories you can't get elsewhere because it's all through this brain. Along with stories about these no masks. This one is actually not a human being. This one, what do you guys think this is actually? I'm curious, what do you guys think this is? Is this a man, a woman, or something else? Take a good look. Take a good look. What do you guys think this is? Drop it in the comments if you know what this is. Is it a man, a woman, or something else? Take a good look, TikTok. This is a traditional Japanese mask. これは何でしょうか? これ男か女か別の生き物か? What is it? What do you guys think? Drop a guess in the chat. What is this type of what is this thing? TikTok's like trying to put a filter on this. I can see like a little movement going on. Yeah, what is this? This is a water sprite. A water sprite. Yeah, so it basically lives in the river, and it popped out one day when it saw this businessman. This is how the story goes. Popped out of the river, saw a businessman getting drunk. You know what? I'm gonna go have some fun with this businessman. Starts drinking with the businessman. They get drunk, have a good night. Next day, businessman wakes up and is like, where's that water sprite that was with me? And he was gone. And it turns out the water sprite left a huge gourd of Japanese sake or Japanese alcohol. Unlimited sake for the businessman. Why? Because the water sprite felt like the businessman was honest. he was doing honest business, so he felt like, you know what, I'm gonna reward this businessman and give him unlimited sake. And that's how the story goes, and that's why I bought this mask. And the cool thing about this mask is, well, first I should say I bought this mask to make sure I am honest in business. Keep myself honest. It's a daily reminder when I see this mask. It's called the Shoujo mask. Shojo. Shoujo. Wow, TikTok is really hell bent on adding a filter to this. And the cool thing about this mask is that the artisan I bought it from, this was her first mask back like over 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago, she made this mask. And typically, every no mask comes with a insignia or a stamp on the inside that shows that this artisan made this. Like, I made this. But the cool thing is, this was her first mask, so she didn't even have what they call a hanko or a stamp at the time because she was just getting started in business. So she didn't have a way to prove that she made the mask. And typically, I would not recommend you get a mask without an insignia because you don't know if it's authentic. But I bought this directly from the artisan in her studio. She told me the story. We had a good laugh. I documented everything on video. And I paid $3,000 for this. That's pretty typical. And a lot of people balk at that price. $3,000 for a wooden mask. But as some of you in the comments have noted, this thing has soul to it. A lot of people think wood absorbs energy and spirits and stuff like that. So if you, especially the artisans I buy my masks from, they make their masks specifically for no actors on the stage that are practicing today. So they wear the mask on stage, they do their whole thing. They imbue some of that energy that they're expelling on stage into these masks. And the person that buys it gets whatever they put into it. And so you might be bringing something into your house you don't want, or you do want. It might be protecting you. And funny enough, I saw something about Lionsgate portal or something, August 8th. I don't know anything about it, but someone was like, if you're feeling kind of weird on August 8th, it's probably because the Lionsgate portal or whatever opened up, and apparently there's like all this energy coming from space. But I don't know, man. I'm not a horoscope person or astrology, so I don't know anything about it. But I did feel something weird yesterday because it's technically Saturday here in Japan. But yeah, I wonder if this mask unleashed something into the atmosphere in my apartment. I hope not. I hope not. Again, this is a Japanese no theater mask for the people that are just joining right now. Japanese no theater is 700 years old. I don't know why this keeps popping up for me to invite Quan Mills to my live. I don't know. I mean, I follow him, but I mean, is that typical? Does it just say I should invite followers? Yeah, I guess it does do that. People I follow just like randomly suggest. It's just funny because Quan Mills is like, yeah, if you don't know Quan Mills, YouTube and other people, he is an indie author like me, but far more experienced, far more successful, and yeah, I actually haven't read any of his books, but they do look interesting. I appreciate his concepts. But it's funny how the TikTok just suggests that I should invite him. yeah, so this is the vibe. This is the vibe what I'm going for. August, going live every day, 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. This one's 20 minutes right now. So thank you guys for joining. And if you see this on, I don't know where else I'm going to post it. If you see this on any other social platform, feel free to drop any comments, any questions you have about the books or the No Mask. I am available to answer. Appreciate you guys for joining. See you on the next live. If you want any of this stuff, brandonchin.net. Or if you're on TikTok, directly TikTok shop. If you're on YouTube, you can also buy YouTube shop. But appreciate you guys for joining. See you on the next one. Peace.